The Los Angeles Rams have just traded Jalen Ramsey for a bag of chips, dude. A third round pick and tight end Hunter Long for Jalen Ramsey. Okay, so Rams, if you're in a rebuild, you do realize how you rebuild is you trade your high end players for valuable things. Like, get it? So you take your valuable item and then you in return you get a valuable item back. I think you missed that second part where you get the valuable item back because that is not what you did here. You got a third round pick from the Dolphins and a backup tight end who probably won't make the cut at the start of the season. What was that trade? Dolphins fleeced the Rams in this. And great job to the Dolphins, but Rams, you're in a rebuild. You have no first round pick. You got a third round pick from the Dolphins. Ooh, and I understand that the Dolphins couldn't necessarily give up their first round pick this year because they had it forfeited because their GM is stupid. But we're going to be rebuilding the Miami Dolphins. Enough of bashing the Los Angeles Rams. Let's see what we got here for the team. Offensively, Tua. I'm not a Tua fan. I live in Florida, and I do not like Tua at all. And I know the Tua haters Tua fans are going to be like, Tua's the best quarterback ever. Tua's better than Justin Herbert. I've heard it all before. I've heard Tua is better than Joe Burrow before. Yes, that is how crazy Floridian fans are. But Tua's not a bad QB. I'm just not a huge fan of him, but we are going to rock with him in the rebuild because he is an 84 overall star development, and the GM says he would like to continue with Tua. So, makes most realistic sense to keep him. Raheem Mostert's eventually going to have to go. Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, Jalen Waddle, arguably the best receiver core in the NFL with Mike Gesicki. O-line interior could use some work. Connor Williams is good. Robert Hunt has some development, and Teron Armstead is obviously amazing. And defensive line, man, Andrew Van Ginkel is just unnecessary to be here. And Emmanuel Ogbah, dude, there's just so many just average defensive linemen here, other than Christian Wilkins. And I'm not really a huge fan of Bradley Chubb just because of his injury rate. But I'm going to start Jalen Phillips at left end just because I want him rushing off the edge and I want to develop him compared to Emmanuel Ogbah or Zach something. I don't know how to say his last name. You guys know who I'm talking about, this defensive end right here. And I like Jerome Baker. Surprised he doesn't have star dev. Javon Holland's good. Brandon Jones is actually good. Nick Needham, Xavier Howard. They cut Byron Jones in real life. But I think this is going to be a good rebuild. I'm excited to do this one. And let's see the players ready to negotiate and the 2022 retirements. But first, Mike Gesicki. Do want to keep him around. I'll do a 4-year deal, increase the bonus a little bit. And he wants to hit free agency. How much does it take to tag him? I'll tag him if I can. Hold up. Everyone, I don't want Andrew Van Ginkel. Nick Needham, I'm fine with the 4-year deal. He's pretty cheap, too, and he resigns. And then anyone else here? Jeff Wilson, no. Miles Gaskin, no. Trey Flowers, Teddy B. Everyone else here, not interested in. So I'm going to actually franchise tag Mike Gesicki. As crazy as that sounds, I know some people might immediately click off the video. It's just 1 year. Calm down. Anyways, let's move into the retirements first. My bad. And see the AFC East, my bad. Thomas Morstead and John Jenkins both retire for your Miami Dolphins. And I'm actually going to not participate in free agency with only $20 million to spend. I'm going to skip out on it because we have Jalen Ramsey now, and we're going to have to eventually pay Tua. So I'm going to skip out and just move into the draft. In the second round of the draft, I'm picking up left guard Cody Mach out of North Dakota State. Normal dev, 6'6", 303, and 87 strength. His skills, yes, F injury, but injury is off, and A pass block and A run block power. I thought that was good enough. So this is the team after the draft. Mach, I believe is how you pronounce his name, is a 74 overall, which isn't amazing, obviously. But one of my subscribers told me to do the Falcons offensive and defensive playbook, and it would change my entire world. So we're going to test that out today with the Miami Dolphins and Jalen Ramsey here. And I also got Andy Dalton, as always, as a mentor for Tua, so that way he gets more XP. But this is what we got offensively. Austin Jackson, I forgot was here. He has star dev, so that's good to see. Defensively, Blake Cashman, man, not really a lot of depth here, but that's fine. I'm sure the CPU will handle it, and everything else looks good. Specialist, Cedric Wilson's in the slot. Yeah, I guess I do need some running backs as well. But apart from that, guys, it is now time to move in to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 1-6. To the commenter that told me to use the Falcons playbook, I hate you. This is not working. I'm switching it immediately. We're going to a pass-heavy offense, and we're going to the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously, and then the Giants playbook is what I usually go with now. So if I can find that, and we're going to the Giants playbook because I said so. Why would we not go pass heavy? We don't even have a running back here. We only have Tyreek Hill, really, and Jalen Waddle. So we're going pass heavy. For the person that told me to use Atlanta's playbook, hey, I hate you. Scouting national focus. Let's see what we got here. I guess I do halfback because I really don't have one, and the Dolphins have always struggled with getting one. Everyone thought they were going to get Barkley this year, and then he got tagged. But let's see what we got. Christian Wilkins, do want him on the team for 3 years, and he resigns. Tua, need a long-term deal. He's the franchise guy. No commitment, no deal. Okay, there was a commitment. There's 5 years, but okay. Mike Gesicki, player-friendly. I'll do 2 years, increase the bonus and the salary even more. And he doesn't want to play. If he doesn't want to play, I can't convince him to stay. Connor Williams doesn't want to play. Robert Hunt does want to play. And I can't pay him right now because I don't have the money because of the offer that I gave Mike Gesicki. So, yeah, Mike Gesicki is going to... Unfortunately, Mike Gesicki is going to walk. If he doesn't want to play here, he doesn't want to play here. I physically cannot force him against his will to play here. So, anyways, let's move into the playoffs. And we finished 4-13. Okay, playbooks. Playbooks, boys. We got to... Immediately, it's something that I got to fix. I'm sure there's already people who have clicked off the video because we finished 4-13. Let's just hypothetically say for the video that we all of a sudden just got injured. The entire team just got injured for 1 year, and we just had a bad year, and now we have a top pick. So, just keep that in mind, boys. Just keep that in mind. We're going to do the Kansas City defense, Dallas offense is what I usually go with now. So, we're going to try that. Whoever told me to do the Falcons has to be trolling me. Stats and awards, sorry guys that you had to witness that. Tua did not have an amazing year, but wasn't horrible, I guess. Worst offense in the league, second worst defense. Yeah, just I'm just going to spam through this. You can look through this for yourself. Not a good season for everyone. Just upsetting. 165 tackles is crazy. What? Channing Tindall? Tackles for a loss, 15. Sacks, only 6. 5 interceptions for Jalen Ramsey. Safeties, 1 for Jalen Phillips and 1 for Blake Cashman. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So this was really a stupid start. But anyways, let's move into the offseason. Once again, I say it. Cowboys need to be nerfed. Dak Prescott is not an elite QB. He should not be winning the Super Bowl MVP and the league MVP at all. There are no awards here for the Miami Dolphins, but we are going to see if we do have any team upgrades. Offensively, we have nobody. Okay. Defensively, we have Channing Tindall gets started. That's no surprise. How old is Channing Tindall? He looks kind of old here. He is 24, actually. Never mind. Did not know that. Defensively, the rest of the defense, Brandon Jones gets started. That's nice to see. And yeah, apart from that, guys, it is now time to move into the retirements and the re-signings. With the AFC East, Cordero Patterson and Von Miller both retire on the Buffalo Bills. That will be very helpful to us. Let's see the players we get to negotiate here. As we have Tua, who no longer has an interest in the team. He just doesn't like our scheme anymore. Very player-friendly. We're going to have to give him the money. And he wants to test out free agency. That's not going to happen. We're going to tag him, then change the scheme back to what it was. And then Robert Hunt wants to be here, so I will give him a deal. I'll do this, and he resigns. Mike Gesicki just doesn't want to be here, so I can't do anything about that. Brandon Jones wants to be here. I'll give him a 5-year deal for sure since he has star dev now. And then, sure, our fullback, why not? I'll give him a 3-year deal. I don't really care. And everybody else, Blake Cashman can walk. I wouldn't mind Noah because he is good depth, and this is pretty cheap. So, oh, never mind. He doesn't want to be here. I can't help it if nobody wants to be here and nobody wants to play for us. Austin Jackson does have star dev, so I will re-sign him just for that sole one reason. And then Tua, I'm going to have to tag and then change my scheme just for Tua because the offense is solely based around Tua. So we're going to change it, and we have negative cap room because of Tua. So go here, go to... We were a West Coast run, right? I'm pretty sure West Coast, whatever he's scheme fitted in. Vertical zone run. I was in vertical zone run, and he's a scheme fit in it, but he doesn't like the scheme. We were in, like, West Coast something. West Coast spread? We're gonna do West Coast zone run. I don't know what we were in. Either way, Tua didn't like it, which is retarded. Anyways, let's move into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up a running back who's only a normal dev for some reason. He was an elite athlete across the board. He has decent skills, but whenever I saw he was an elite athlete, I expected at least he would be star dev, but I guess not. In the second round, I'm picking up our new tight end, Adonis Henry out of Oklahoma, 6'5", 261, decent athlete and hidden development. In the third round, I'm picking up right outside linebacker Dalton Monroe, pass coverage out of TCU, hidden development, great athlete who's the lead at almost everything, A man coverage, B pursuit. He looks pretty good. So this is the team going into the second season. Adonis Henry is a 76 overall. Our running back is a 75 overall. He just has normal depth. That's so lame, dude. That's so lame. Yeah, you're a 75 overall, but you don't even get a star dev. That's just stupid. Anyways, Monroe is a 73 overall. That was a good pickup. We need some new defensive tackles. Does Emmanuel Ogbah fit the... Actually, 6'4", 275 isn't too bad for a defensive tackle, and Emmanuel Ogbah is honestly just a second string right now. So I'm going to move him into defensive tackle. I think it would make more sense to move Christian Wilkins there, but Christian Wilkins is going to be one of our best pass rushers, so I'm not going to do that. Emmanuel Ogbah is 79 overall pass rusher for a defensive tackle, so that's fine. Tyndall, I'm still going to keep at a second string specialist. I'm going to have Monroe starting over Jerome Baker. And yeah, Johnston, I want getting all the reps. But apart from that, guys, it is now time to move into the midseason mark, and we should actually have a good scheme this time. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 4-3. That's a little bit better, but I do think our team should be better than just 4-3. We do play in a tough division. I guess I'm going to scout defensive tackle because I don't really plan on re-signing Emmanuel Ogbah because we already do have a significant amount of edge rushers. And players to negotiate, who do we have here? We have Jalen Ramsey. Of course, I want to re-sign Jalen Ramsey. Let's put him on a 3-year deal. And he re-signs. Then we have Jalen Waddle, 5-year deal, and he re-signs. And then Javon Holland, need to lock up long-term, 5-year deal. He re-signs. Jalen Phillips doesn't want to be here. Tua, what's the problem, dude? Underdog, he doesn't like our scheme again. And he doesn't have a mentor. I'm just going to have to pay him the money. I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and pay him the money. He just doesn't like the team. Jerome Baker doesn't want to be here. Cedric Wilson, I can let walk. I don't have a lot of money left, especially since Teron Armstead's contract takes a lot of money. I want Jalen Phillips. I don't think I'm going to be able to have him unless I tag him and go into negative cap room. So I'm going to go back into my roster. I'm going to change the scheme to vertical zone run, which is what I always have it at. And the reason is because it's a 90% scheme fit, but Tua just didn't like it, so that's why I changed it. Vertical power run, where is it? Vertical zone run. It's now 73, unfortunate, but it fits our QB and it fits our wide receivers. So we're going to move to the playoffs. I think we have weekly awards, even though we lost the Titans, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But we're facing the 2-5 Cardinals, so we should be able to make the playoffs. Let's move into it. And we finished 7-10, dude. I hate EA so much, dude. The garbage shit that they produce each and every year, and they get away with it. Tua did not do amazing. 27th best offense defensively. 11th, okay, that's nice to see. 4,400 yards, 31 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Not a horrible ratio. Honestly, on paper, it's not a bad year, but 96 pass rating isn't good. Our rookie, 3.5 per carry is not good, but 17 touchdowns is nice. Receiving, Tyreek Hill, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. Cedric Wilson, 1,100 yards. I'm still not going to re-sign him. Defensively, Dalton Moore, the rookie, 137 tackles is good. Tackles for a loss. 12 for Jalen Phillips, and 23 sacks for Jalen Phillips. He has to be re-signed. Interceptions, 2 for Dalton Moore. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns, 0. I know a bunch of people have probably already clicked off the video, but I can guarantee a playoff next season. Guarantee we're going to the playoffs. Already saying it. Let's move into the offseason. Chiefs beat the Commanders in the Super Bowl. Isaiah Pacheco wins the Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson wins the league MVP. Jalen Phillips wins Defensive Player of the Year. And our running back wins Rookie of the Year. Good stuff. Nice to see that. But Jalen Phillips, I don't know if we're going to be able to re-sign him. Yeah, running back gets star dev. And then defensively, Monroe has superstar dev. Jalen Phillips gets superstar dev as well. Damn, we have no money, but let's move into the re-signings. In the AFC East, nobody retires. I was honestly kind of hoping that Teron Armstead retired so we can clear cap, as bad as that sounds. But Jalen Phillips, we can't re-sign. He's just going to have to hit free agency. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. He's just going to have to walk. We have negative $8 million in cap room because we had to overpay for Tua. Let's just move into the draft. In the first round, we're drafting Jalen Phillips' replacement, and he's only a normal dev. His skills were good, and he had elite strength, but apparently normal dev. EA always does this to me. And with my other first-round pick, because I traded back in the previous year, we're picking up Larry Milner out of Auburn, 5'8", 179, 96 speed, 94 acceleration, the replacement for Cedric Wilson, hidden dev. He looks like he's going to be a beast. In the second round, I'm picking up defensive tackle Travis Miller out of Clemson. He is 6'1", 302, hidden development, 90 strength. He is a great defensive tackle. In the third round, we're picking up this beast center who is elite at almost every athletic position, 89 strength, hidden dev, 82 jumping for someone who's 300 pounds is crazy, and 86 acceleration. The team's really improving in this draft. So this is the team going into the third season. I can guarantee we're making the playoffs. For those of you guys don't believe me, I changed up the schemes. Milner's 76 overall, Peters is 75 overall. The offensive line has improved, and Miller, the defensive tackle, is going to move up. Wheeler is a 75 overall. He just doesn't have a development. Bradley Chubb's probably going to be rushing off the edge. No longer have Jerome Baker. The team looks good. It's just up to Madden to actually give it to me, and I'm guaranteeing we make the playoffs. Let's move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 6-1, top the division here, face the 6-1 Jets for the battle of who gets the division here. Going to scouting national focus. Yeah, we're easily going to make the playoffs unless we somehow finish like 6-11 and just tank the rest of the season. But what do I specifically want? Maybe another, I don't know. I think the team's honestly pretty good where it's at. Maybe another halfback because ours isn't doing amazing and we can just use depth at halfback because we can't afford to pay for one in free agency. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we have here as we have Emmanuel Ogbah. I'm fine with no, never mind. I'm not fine with any deal because we're in negative cap. I want Channing Tindall back. But it looks like I wish I signed him on a longer term deal whenever I did. But I guess I'm not allowed to have him back now. Okay. Let's see if we can beat the Jets to see who's going to take the division. Because I actually want to see this game and see if we can just hold it. Or we're going to tank the rest of the season. And we hold the division, beating the Jets. And we're 7-1 now. So let's move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 13-4, top the division, first round bye. I guaranteed it and it happened. Let's go. Tua did great. 14th best offense in the NFL and defensively 3rd best defense. 6th in passing yards, almost 5,000 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, 18 interceptions is not good. Rushing wise, okay, Johnston is developing, 1,100 yards, 3.9 per carry. I still want that to get up a little bit more. 14 touchdowns though. Receiving wise, Tyreek, 11 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Jalen Waddle, 1,200 yards. Adonis Henry, 102 receptions and 1,000 yards is great. Defensively, Dalton Monroe, 123 tackles for a loss, 14 for Christian Wilkins, sacks, 9.5 for Christian Wilkins, 8.5 for Bradley Chubb, interceptions, 3 for Brandon Jones, safeties is 0 defensive touchdowns, is 1 for Jalen Ramsey. So, we're going to see what we got here for the third season and see if we can, who we can beat in the divisional round, if we can beat anybody, and the 10-7 Denver Broncos. Can we beat them to move on to the conference championship? And we do not. Okay, fourth and final season. Let's move into it. And the Falcons beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, so the Falcons playbook seems to be working pretty good for them, but not for me. Alex Highsmith wins the Super Bowl MVP. Justin Herbert on the Commanders wins the league MVP. There are no awards here for the Miami Dolphins, but let's see what we got for the roster upgrades. I don't think Tua is going to get one because he had 18 receptions. He does not get one. Offensively, Peters, the center, has Stardev. Milner has Stardev as well. Defensively, or our defensive tackle has Stardev. Tyndall's probably going to end up walking, unfortunately. And I don't see any other development upgrades on the team. So we're going to have to move into the fourth and final season, but let's move into the re-signed players. In the AFC East, Teron Armstead does retire, so that clears cap for us, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing because it was the final season. I wish he retired in the previous season so I could get Jalen Phillips back, but now I guess I'm getting Channing Tindall for a cheap deal. So he resigns. Emmanuel Ogbah, I'm cool with the one-year deal, and never mind, I don't have any cap room. Apparently Channing Tindall just somehow consumed it all, even though it was a cheap deal. We don't have any cap room. We can't participate in free agency again, so let's move into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up left tackle Derek Howard out of UCLA. He has normal dev, but it's fine because it's the fourth and final season. There's no development needed. 6'7", 309. I really looked at him because he's 6'7". Great skills, and he was a decent athlete. So this is the team going into the fourth and final season of this quote-unquote disappointing rebuild. I'm not going to lie, I am pretty disappointed with how this turned out because of how frequently I've been getting screwed by the CPU. But the team has lost a lot of money, and I probably should have cut Bradley Chubb because I think his contract is terrible. Yeah, I 100% should have cut Bradley Chubb and in return gotten Jalen Phillips. But anyways, fourth and final season, let's just move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs coming off a loss to the Patriots. We finished 12-5 top the division here to face the 9-8 Cincinnati Bengals. We're an 87 overall team. Stats and awards, let's see what we got here. Tua, was not good at all. 27th best offense, but the defense carried. Second best defense, 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 receptions. If you have an offensive playbook that's not the Chiefs, let me know down in the comments below. Rushing wise, my dog does not like it apparently. Johnston at 12 touchdowns, 4.0 per carry, 1,200 yards. Receiving wise, Adonis, 101 receptions, 1,000 yards. Tyreek Hill, 1,000 yards. Defensively, though, is where we stand out. Channing Tindall, 116 tackles for a loss, 18 for Travis Miller, sacks, 11.5 for Christian Wilkins, sacks, 4 interceptions, 4 for Jalen Ramsey. Safeties is 0, defensive touchdowns is 0. So, let's see if we can get our first playoff win. Yes, our first playoff win of the rebuild and beat the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to hop into the divisional if we do win it. Come on. Yes. 11-6, Las Vegas Raiders. We haven't even won a divisional round yet, so I'm going to hop into this because it's the fourth and final season, so let's move into it. Here we are in Miami, Las Vegas, going from West Coast to East Coast. Must be a tough travel, so we should win this. No, I'm kidding. That doesn't actually matter in Madden because Madden does not care. 7-3 start, 7-10 for us at halftime. Very low-scoring game, and 14-13. And 21-13. Let's wake up offense. 21-21. 24. Ooh, 24-24. Let's see the key moments here. Get better field position with the punts. We're in overtime. Overtime alert. Let's go. No. Oh, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me, dude. We just lost that. Overtime. We lose. Failed rebuild to Tanner McKee. Really. Who scored 0 touchdowns. Great rebuild, guys. We just lost to the Las Vegas Raiders with an 87 overall team because our offense can never perform. Why is our offense this bad? Oh, it's the Dallas playbook. Why does the Dallas always win the Super Bowl, but I can never win the Super Bowl? Look at my defense. It's number 1 in everything ranked. 88 overall team. Let's see who wins the Super Bowl. Dude, I failed my Bears rebuild. I failed this rebuild. I won my Ravens rebuild, which, by the way, I haven't posted yet. That's going to be tomorrow. That should be tomorrow, unless it gets pushed back again. I've been pushing it back for quite a while because of all these trades that have been happening, but I'm so sorry to any of the new viewers watching me as the Chiefs blow out the Lions in the Super Bowl. 28-3, Matt Ryan's favorite number. I am a lot better than this. Please check out my other videos. I am a lot better at rebuilding than this. Just for some reason, our defense was godlike, and Tua said, no, I'm not going to perform. Because I'm Tua, and I like to do nothing but sit here and not be able to throw the ball to somehow Tyreek. It makes no sense why my offense is collapsing whenever my offense looks like this. Oh, well, your offensive line is bad. My offense was bad whenever I had Teron Armstead. And Adonis Henry gets superstar dev. Like, he had all of this to throw to, and he could only put up 2,000 yards on 1,000-yard receiver for Adonis Henry and 1,000-yard receiver for Tyreek Hill. But for some reason, he was just like, nah, I'm not going to do anything. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I'm so sorry. I apologize again. Hope you guys all enjoyed the rebuild.